This stop is 82nd Street and Northern Boulevard. Next stop, 82nd Street and 34th Avenue. This stop is 82nd Street and 34th Avenue. Next stop, 82nd Street and 35th Avenue. Transfer available to Q49. This stop is 82nd Street and 35th Avenue. Next stop, 82nd Street and 37th Avenue. This stop is 82nd Street and 37th Avenue. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 82nd Street. Transfers available to the 7 train and Q29. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 82nd Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 80th Street. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 80th Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 78th Street. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 78th Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 76th Street. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 76th Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 74th Street. Transfers available to the E, F, M and R trains, Q47, Q49, Q53 SBS and Q70 SBS. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 74th Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 72nd Street. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 72nd Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 69th Street. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 69th Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 67th Street. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 67th Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 64th Street. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 64th Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 61st Street. Transfer available to Long Island Railroad. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 61st Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 58th Street. Transfer available to Q18. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 58th Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and Skillman Avenue. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and Skillman Avenue. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 54th Street. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 54th Street. Next stop, Roosevelt Avenue and 51st Street. This stop is Roosevelt Avenue and 51st Street. Next stop, Queens Boulevard and 48th Street. Transfers available to B24, Q60 and Q104. This stop is Queens Boulevard and 48th Street. Next stop, Queens Boulevard and 45th Street. This stop is Queens Boulevard and 45th Street. Next stop, Queens Boulevard and 41st Street. This stop is Queens Boulevard and 41st Street. Next stop, Queens Boulevard and 39th Place. This stop is Queens Boulevard and 39th Place. Next stop, Queens Boulevard and 38th Street. This stop is Queens Boulevard and 38th Street. Next stop, Queens Boulevard and 35th Street. This stop is Queens Boulevard and 35th Street. Next stop, Queens Boulevard and 33rd Street. This stop is Queens Boulevard and 33rd Street. Next stop, Queens Boulevard and Skillman Boulevard. Transfer available to Q39. This stop is Queens Boulevard and Skillman Boulevard. Next stop, Queens Boulevard and Queens Plaza East. Transfers available to the E, M and R trains, B62, Q67, Q100 Limited and Q102. This stop is Queens Boulevard and Queens Plaza East. Next stop, Queens Plaza North and 29th Street. Transfers available to the 7, N and W trains, Q39, Q66, Q69 and Q101. This stop is Queens Plaza North and 29th Street. Next stop, East 60th Street and 2nd Avenue. Transfers available to Roosevelt Island Tram, M15 and M15 SBS. This stop is East 60th Street and 2nd Avenue. Next stop, East 60th Street and Lexington Avenue. Transfers available to the 4, 5, 6, N, Q, R and W trains, M101 Limited, M102 and M103. This stop is East 60th Street and Lexington Avenue. Next stop, East 60th Street and Madison Avenue. Transfers available to M1, M2 Limited, M3 and M4. This stop is East 60th Street and Madison Avenue. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 58th Street. Transfers available to the N, R and W trains, M1, M2 Limited, M3, M4, M5 Limited, M57 and M31. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 58th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 55th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 55th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 52nd Street. Transfers available to the E and M trains. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 52nd Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 49th Street. Transfer available to M50. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 49th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 46th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 46th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and East 44th Street. Transfer available to M55. This stop is 5th Avenue and East 44th Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 41st Street. Transfers available to the 4, 5, 6, 7, B, D, F, M and S trains. Long Island Railroad, Metro North and M42. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 41st Street. Next stop, 5th Avenue and West 38th Street. This stop is 5th Avenue and West 38th Street. Next stop, West 37th Street and 5th Avenue. This stop is West 37th Street and 5th Avenue. Next stop, West 37th Street and Broadway. Transfers available to the B, D, F, M, N, Q, R and W trains. Path and M7. This stop is West 37th Street and Broadway. Next stop, 7th Avenue and West 36th Street. Transfers available to M7 and M20. This stop is 7th Avenue and West 36th Street. Next stop, West 32nd Street and 7th Avenue. Transfers available to the 1, 2, 3, A, C and D trains. Long Island Railroad, M34 SBS and M34A SBS. This is the last stop. This stop is West 32nd Street and 7th Avenue. This is Q32 to Midtown Penn Station. A fare is required to ride.